Hello everybody, Hassan here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I wanted to take a look visually at the market caps of each CRISPR company. And of course, I'm using this screenshot here, sort of made up by our friend here in our channel, CRISPR Investors. He has his own YouTube channel and of course Twitter account. Shout out to CRISPR Investors, who's done an amazing job in this community, especially the last year in this recession where it's really hard to get people that are really dedicated about a topic and able to express things and be that in a way where it's continuous, right? And genuine, right? So shout out to CRISPR Investors there. So what we're seeing here is on the y-axis you see the current market cap, right? Obviously we've talked about this many times. Market cap is basically your outstanding shares multiplied by your stock price, right? You basically get your market cap. The higher your market cap, the more valuable you are in the stock market eyes. And then in the x-axis you have different companies, right? So this is obviously a bar chart, vertical bar chart, and you see here CRISPR Therapeutics, NTLA, Beam Therapeutics, Verve, Editas, Caribou, and Graphel Bio. So here's a couple of things here that I want to take a look at is where do we stand today, right? So obviously this screenshot was taken, literally like today. It was built up by the stock price of today, and basically the market cap of each of these companies reflect where we are today. This was not the outlook last year. If you guys remember, NTLA actually took the number one position for a while. In fact, if anything, NTLA Therapeutics, they dropped this number one to number two just recently. I believe it was like beginning of 2022 or maybe by April or May. Obviously, CRISPR Therapeutics has had a huge boost since May, partly due to the markets in the biotech reversing, but also CRISPR Therapeutics having some little wins here and there with their innovation day, coming out with their heart diseases and so on. And I think just money flowing in and out of these companies. I mean, it's not like you have 50 companies in this space. You really just have like one, two, three, four, five, six, and if you include Graphite Bio, it's seven company. And I'm gonna get to Graphite Bio in a second. That's why I just poke fun of them just for a second. But obviously the top three: CRISPR Therapeutics, NTLA, Beam Therapeutics. I think this top three has been the top three basically since our YouTube channel started. I'm pretty confident on that. If anything, CRISPR Therapeutics was number one for the longest time. NTLA was actually number three, Beam Therapeutics was number two, and then of course when NTLA published their data in June 2021, which was over a year ago, they started raising up from number three to number two, and then by the end of that 2021, or maybe the last 3-4 months of that year, they basically took the number one spot, being the dark horse, getting that number one spot. So I don't expect them to be number two for too long. I do expect NTLA to capture back number one position because of their amazing program for NTLA 2001, them approaching it through in vivo, which obviously has garnered a lot of attention in the CRISPR world, but also because they're venturing in other programs like NTLA 5001, for example, and so on. They're expecting to get additional data for their additional programs as well. We're going to get that by the end of this year as well. So, there's a lot of good things coming out from NTLA. And of course, their acquisition, their partnerships, and of course, their amazing leadership. So, I do expect them to get back number one. I expect CRISPR Therapeutics to be stay at number one or number two, of course, for a while. Beam Therapeutics, I know there are a lot of people who use Beam Therapeutics. If you were to ask, 10 people, you probably have 6 or 7 people on social media that would say that Beam Therapeutics should be number one. I mean, their presence on social media is amazing. I would argue that it's something that this company has been really pushed and supported by retail investors. I would argue all of these companies are supported by retail investors, but Beam Therapeutics is the biggest one. They have a huge support cast, and it makes sense, right? I mean, this company is working on base editing, something no other company has patents to, or at least legal path to doing it. Again, NTLA has something going on with a patent there. Again, another reason why I think they should crack number one as they, unfold their base editors and so on. But that is yet to be remained seen. And of course, now when we get out of the top three, you have Verve Therapeutics. I mean, Verve Therapeutics to me, I think should they be number four? I would argue Caribou should be number four, which I'll get to in a second. But I think it justifies the position what they're trying to do. I mean, they did dose their first patient about over a few weeks ago. Actually, it's like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Time flies so fast. Wow. Um, but I definitely don't think Editas should be number five. That's 100%. I don't think so. I think Editas has been a mess, losing leaderships, like 3 CEOs in 4 years or something crazy like that. Losing their CMO or the number two of that position just recently in that company, just recently. It's a mess. Their data is so. It's nothing impressive. The only thing they have going on that for them is they were one of the OGs in the space, being the first patient to be dosed. It was from Editas, and so obviously they have some support there. Early investors, people that bought in early on. They obviously want to keep pushing the stock up. You got to be careful of that, guys. Bag holders, you got to be careful of that. I actually think they should be, where Caribou is right now in this. I think Caribou should reverse this position with Verve. Verve should go to number five. Caribou should be number four. Caribou, I think they have amazing data for their CBO 10. We talked about it many times this program in this channel is that they had data that can really solidify themselves to be at least a top five CRISPR company. I think everything they've done, I mean, they've stayed on track. They've dosed patient in 2021 as they went public. I mean, they dosed more patient. They published data early part of this year. They published data again. I mean, the data is not the best. It's not the most amazing one. I mean, there's a case to be made with for Sana Biotechnology, which is not CRISPR, but another biotech company due to the latest data that Caribou went on to publish with. But as many have said in the past, the data is still good. It's still going to be looked at the FDA with a positive outlook. So to me, I mean, you're not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be good enough to get through the FDA doors. I think that's what CTX001 has done. That's what NTLA is trying to do with NTLA 2001, and that's what other these CRISPR companies are trying to do: get in front of the FDA doors. That's all. You're not supposed to be like the best, most efficient clinical data and just be a research company, a research lab. You're a public company. You're trying to commercialize your product, and the way you do that is you get through the FDA door. Now, obviously, you want to get the good data, the best data you can. But the reality of the thing is the sample data is so small, and you don't really have that much room to play with. I mean, these are real patients that you're dosing, and these are real data that's being tracked and published on a quarterly basis to the world, right? So you got a huge pair of attention given to you, right? So you got to be careful on that end. But again, I think Caribou should be number four, Ferv should be number five, and of course, Graphite Bio at this last position. Look, guys, Graphite Bio being worth 236 million to me is justified. I think they're a completely mess. They've delayed their programs many times. Last time they did it, I mean, to me, it was a nail in the coffin for them. I don't think they have anything going for them. I think they should be just purchased by like I don't know, like CRISPR Therapeutics, just pull out like 250 million cash, get the talent, get their HDR technology, whatever, get it under the umbrella. Just grow your headcount, get those OGs from Graphite Bio. Like I think his name is Matthew, whatever. He was one of the OGs in the CRISPR landscape. Just get him in. I mean, it is what it is. You don't need this many companies when you don't even have a commercial product available. I mean, you need efficiency. You need to use that head talent, that head count talent efficiently, right? And I think these companies that we see in front of us, excluding Graphite Bio, are all doing that. I think it's an amazing pool of companies, diverse set of companies with different leaderships, with different type of styles. Editas, as much as I want to bash them, I mean, it is a company that's trying to do something really amazing. And they've, put their money where their mouth is, right? They've those patients. They got bad data, but they've those patients. As opposed to Graphite Bio, I think they've been a mess. And anyways, the last point I want to make is these valuations are crazy, guys. Caribou at $602 million. Verve Therapeutics at 2 billion. That's arguably fairly valued in my opinion. But Beam Therapeutics under five, NTLA at five, CRISPR at six. I see these three top three companies, including Caribou, being well worth at least three times their current value. At least Caribou should not be worth 600 million, guys. Caribou should be worth at least 2 billion. At least give them at least the respect that you give Verve Therapeutics, right? That's all I'm asking. And there's a huge difference between 2.1 billion and 600 million. Make no mistake, it's not just a little amount. This is huge, guys. So I think there's a lot of disrespect here given to some of these CRISPR companies, but I wanted to make this high level video here going over these valuations. I just thought it was fun going over the landscape. I think visually it's fun to see this. Hopefully you guys had fun as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do like this video if you found value. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I am in Montreal, beautiful city of Montreal this week. Hopefully you guys are gonna see a lot more videos this week. I'll do my best to get you guys content and have you guys enjoy these videos. Thank you and have a beautiful Saturday.